Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over all of the cryptocurrencies that are in my current long-term swing trading / investment account. And I'm also going to be plotting out levels to buy more. So let's get into it. First, of course, is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the biggest position that I have. I've been buying Bitcoin for a while, but I've just been holding Bitcoin, and I bought more somewhere around 17 to 20 to 21K. So I bought a lot right around here after we had this spike up, and I am holding this because my thesis is that we end up going up to at least 28,000 somewhere around this area. So if we go to the weekly chart and bring this down just a little bit, my thesis is that we end up coming up to at least around here. So I hold a lot of Bitcoin. But the other thing that I'm doing is I'm trading my Bitcoin for altcoins. So instead of buying my altcoins with cash, if I miss my altcoin buys from the altcoin USD pairs, at least I'll still have Bitcoin. And that's my reasoning behind this, because two things. Number one, if I hold Bitcoin and Bitcoin's going up, then that is great because I hold Bitcoin and it's going up, so I'm making money. And if I put on trades against Bitcoin, against the Bitcoin pairs, then if Bitcoin goes up, but the other pairs go up even more, then I'll make way more money if I'm in the altcoins. And if I don't get into the altcoins, then at least I'll still make money because at least Bitcoin's going up. So I hope that makes sense. Oh yeah, and then also if Bitcoin goes up more than the altcoins do, then the Bitcoin altcoin or the altcoin Bitcoin pairing will go down, and I'll get into the altcoins. So I'll make money on Bitcoin going up, then I'll get into the altcoins, and then by that time, maybe the altcoin will reverse and go up more than Bitcoin will. That was a whole lot of talking. Regardless, what I'm saying is for my longer term swing trading investment accounts, I have a lot of Bitcoin, and not a lot, but like what do you say, percentage wise, mostly Bitcoin, but I'm going into altcoins as well, and I'm trading my Bitcoin for alts. So I'm in Bitcoin, and I'm really waiting until we get up to the round, maybe a little bit higher, maybe like 25, maybe 27. I'm just waiting until we make a move up before I sell my Bitcoin and go back into cash, because I really think that this move has some more legs to it, and I don't want to just like sell it all right here thinking that we're going to go back down and hit 14K. I mean, yeah, it's possible, but I would really like to see at least a little bit of another leg up before I sell. So Bitcoin is number one. Another coin that I'm into right now is Algorand, because on the Algorand against Bitcoin chart, you can see that it came down into this nice support zone and ended up shooting up back in 2021 like everything else did. But then in June 2022, it got back into this support zone, and it had a pretty nice run. And now it's back down into the support zone. So for me, this is a good area to be in Algorand. I think that there is potential for it to move up. I'm not saying that's going to move up like drastically, but I think that because it is in this nice support zone, support area, it does have the potential to move up at least a little bit. So I did buy some Algorand, and I'm going to be selling this pretty quickly because it's not like it has like a narrative play or anything like that, but I like where it's at. Technically speaking, that's what I like about it. And if we check the USD chart as well, you can see that it's in a really nice place USD wise also. So it came all the way back down to pretty much, to the support area right over here. And let me get rid of this. And, it fell a little bit below it, but now it's above it. And so I think I got in like right around here. and I'm just waiting for it to move up just a little bit more so that I could get out. But yeah, I mean, this does definitely seem like a value price. If you're looking at it, this is the value price. The only thing that I don't really like so much about it is that obviously it is a coin that's been around for quite a while. And so there is a lot of, overhead selling pressure. But the other thing is that it's not a pump and dump like a lot of scams are. It's a legit coin with a legit community. So yeah, Algorand is another coin that I'm into right now. Next up, I have Quant Network, and Quant actually, it's not the best looking against Bitcoin, but I love Quant Network and I really believe in it. And I think it has huge potential from a foundational, fundamental point of view. So I do have a lot of quants, and basically I'm going to just be selling it once it comes back to this previous high, because I think that it could come up here and then it could fall all the way back down again. So I do have a lot of quants. I do wish that the Bitcoin chart, which is this chart right here, I wish that this looked a little bit better. If the Bitcoin chart does come down to the 61.8 though, then I'm definitely going to be buying a lot more quant, or I'm going to be converting a lot of my Bitcoin into quant. But for me, quant is such a huge fundamental play. Like, it's so good that I don't mind just holding it and just waiting and pretty much not touching it until it reaches my targets. Even if it falls lower, I'll probably just want to buy even more. So yeah, that is quant. Next up on the list, we have Atom. I like Atom not just because the chart is, the chart's okay, but really I got into Atom because of the upgrades. They're having the row upgrade expected Q1 2023, but really it's the Lambda upgrade that is supposed to be really, really big for Atom. So I do think it will get a nice little pump whenever more news about the Lambda upgrade comes out. This is supposed to create better security and also cross-chain validation. So I'm not even going to get into all this. I hardly understand what they're talking about right here anyway. But all I know is that it is a very, very big upgrade for Cosmos. And Atom is obviously something, it's a coin that a lot of people like. It has a great community. It's not a random S coin that is a pump and dump. So I like Atom. Also, if Atom does come back down to this green zone, I will definitely be buying more. So I'll just be, stacking my buys down here. That's pretty far away though. This is the 3-day chart, going down to the daily chart. If it does come down here, then I'll get it. And this is quite far away. This is 50% away almost. So like all of these coins that I'm mentioning right now, I'm actually trying to, even though I'm in them, I might be buying a little bit more, but ultimately I do want to be getting out of them. I do want to be taking my profits fairly early. I'd say earlier than I would normally want to, or that I would normally try to take them. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And so I am in Atom, and I have some take profits pretty much like up here. I have some, I'm considering moving it up here, but I think I'll just take some, quick profits for pretty much all of these. I just want to take my quick profits because there's, I don't know, too much uncertainty in the market right now. But yeah, I am in Atom, and I'm in Atom because of the upgrades. So I think Atom is probably the best bet so far, other than obviously Bitcoin. But yeah, I think Atom's the best bet so far, just because they do have these really big upgrades coming out in Q1 of this year. The next coin that I have is Link. I like Link because it's just obviously such a big foundational coin, which is great. I would rather, honestly, I'd rather be in other coins than Link, but I am in Link. So my game plan for Link is that when it comes to the USD chart, I'd probably just want to get out at the midline right here. somewhere around 7.43. I like this area where it's at right now just because you can see that this whole area right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, back here as well, even over here as resistance. All of these areas were support, except for this little deviation, and this was resistance. So this is obviously a pretty important area on the USD chart. So I do like that. Plus it's in the value zone, like it's underneath the 50% fib level. So if you take the fib from, the bottom to the top, then you could say it's, in between the 61.8 and 78.6. So it's underneath the 50, which is the value zone, and then above the 50 is the zone where you want to take your profits. So I like that. And then for the Bitcoin chart, it's at the 61.8. So if you take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, 61.8 is right here. It's in this zone. I really like it. And obviously back here as well, there was a lot of support. This was the support that it consolidated, the area that it consolidated in as support before it had this huge run up, which was due to the news that was coming out regarding staking on Ethereum. And then after the news came out, it just massively dumped. And now it dumped all the way back down to 61.8. So I like that. And actually, let me see something. Okay, never mind. Normally it bounces off the 61.8 and goes up to the 38.2, but it did not do that yet. So it's not terrible. I would rather, like I said, I'd rather be in other coins, but Link is in my portfolio right now. I know this says 61.8, so double down. That was because I bought some up here. I bought some right here, and then I bought more down there. So my average buy price is somewhere in the middle. And yeah, I think I'm just going to, this one, Link, I'm pretty comfortable holding as well because it's such a good coin, fundamentally speaking. On the charts, though, the charts look like, I don't like the way the chart looks in regards to the fact that it's just obviously like this was really nice. This whole area since May has been really good. So I don't know, it's really a hit or miss with Link. When it comes to the charts. But one thing that I like about Link is that, like, fundamentally, it's really solid. It's a super solid coin, and it's been it's pretty much integrated in so many different cryptocurrencies right now. If Link went down, I don't know what would happen with the market, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna hold on to Link until it reaches my take profit zone, either up here or for Bitcoin somewhere up here. So yeah, I do have Link. Next up in the list is Ethereum. So of course there's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum. And so for Ethereum, I have some right now. It's in my longer term portfolio. And what I'd really like to happen is it to come down to here, the 0.065 area. I'll be buying more, or I'll be converting more Bitcoin to Ethereum if it comes down there. And then also, of course, if it comes down to this area down here, I'll also convert even more, the 0.0576 or 578, because that's the bottom, this bottom area right here, support, and obviously lots of support down here. This was a deviation, but still support. So really, if it comes down here, I'll buy more. If it comes down here, I'll buy more. And then if it comes up here, I'll be selling it. So yeah, that's my plan for Ethereum. And when it comes to Ethereum, like right now on the shorter term, right now it's in the middle, right? Here's the low, here's the high, it's in the mid zone. So it's in a no, I'm not going to be trading it. If it comes back down here, I can look for another buy, or if it comes up here, I don't think I'm going to sell it, but if it does come down here, I'll buy it. And then if it comes down here, I'll stack on even more buys because I like the, I do think that overall I'm bullish on the market. So that's my game plan for Ethereum. The next coin that I have on my list is Filecoin. And normally I really wouldn't care about Filecoin at all, but they are having a fairly significant upgrade. It has been pushed back a month. It was supposed to happen in February, but now it's happening in March. And this is the Filecoin, basically Filecoin Ethereum virtual machine release, which brings user programmability to Filecoin. And that's actually a pretty important upgrade that's fairly significant. So because of this, I'm going to, have a position in, or have a position in it. And basically this is saying Filecoin version 18, HIG upgrade brings users programmability to Filecoin. EVM is introduced as the first foreign runtime on top of the Filecoin virtual machine and enables developers to deploy EVM contracts on Filecoin mainnet via the FEVM. Existing Ethereum tooling will be compatible with Filecoin. So this is pretty big. This is a fairly big update for Filecoin. So I do like Filecoin because of that. Now, when it comes to the charts, the Bitcoin chart, Filecoin against Bitcoin, it is underneath this huge resistance, which I'm not a fan of, but I am a fan of this pattern since December, where it's literally just up. It's a very, very nice pattern of consistently making higher highs and higher lows. And even right now, it's consolidating underneath the resistance. And we have bullish news coming out, and the market's fairly bullish. So I wouldn't mind putting on a trade, something like this, just because it has a lot of things going for it. Actually, I would probably bring it down a little bit, probably do something like this. But yeah, I already have some, and I'm going to be taking my profits, probably somewhere up there. Or if it gets to be March, probably 8th, 9th, 10th, somewhere around here, that's when I will take my profits regardless, because I don't want to be in it when the actual update happens, which should be somewhere around there. So yeah, that's Filecoin. This is the USD chart. The USD chart, support, breaks underneath the support, never even retouches it because it just broke so badly underneath of it and crashed even more. And now it's all the way back up. It had this huge rally all the way back up to 150% to above the support. And now it's above the support again. So I'm really liking the fact that it's, staying above here. That's strong. If it's above the support, it's pretty freaking close to the support anyway. So I'll take my profits, once it hits this resistance over here, or on the Bitcoin chart once it hits probably like right around here, probably for 11%. So yeah, that is Filecoin. Next up, we have Dogecoin. So Dogecoin is a coin that I think is very, very obvious to be dollar cost averaging into and then just selling on the pops up. It's literally the easiest strategy ever, and it works 100% of the time. So yeah, well, with Dogecoin it does, with other coins it doesn't, but with Dogecoin it's never not worked. It's literally never not worked. So I buy Dogecoin every single day. I buy Doge every single day, just a little bit. I just buy a little bit. I take the Bitcoin that I have, let's say I have 1 Bitcoin, I'll put 0.001 Bitcoin into Doge every single day. And then when there's huge spikes up like this, I sell it. It's very, very simple. So I buy all the way down. I just keep on buying. I don't look at it. I don't do anything. And then once it comes into this area down here, like this accumulation zone, instead of putting in 0.01 BTC, maybe I'll put in 0.1 or 0.05. I'll start adding more. I'll start putting more in to weight my dollar cost average down further in this accumulation zone. And if it happens to fall all the way down here, if I go to the weekly chart, you'll be able to see it better. If it happens to fall all the way down here on the Bitcoin against the Bitcoin pairing, then I will put in as much as I can because I think that it will outperform Bitcoin. So maybe my average, let's say I literally dollar cost average all the way from here, all the way down here, but then I start putting in a lot more down here. My average was probably going to be somewhere around here. And I believe that whenever Twitter comes out with the payment system and Elon Musk starts talking about that, even just talking about it will surge Dogecoin. in price and outperform Bitcoin during that time. That's exactly what happened here. And, you know, I did this. I did it. Like, I literally bought Dogecoin. I think I started in November-ish. So I started like right around here, and I would just buy. And I just bought all down here, up, down, up, down. My average was like probably like right around here. I want to say was like probably my average, maybe a little bit lower, maybe like right around here. And then it popped up. And so that's a huge gain against Bitcoin. 40-50% gain right there. And if I would have, or if I sold the top, that would have been over 100%, doubling my Bitcoin position that I put into Dogecoin. So Dogecoin, I love Dogecoin, and I'm averaging into that. When it comes to the Tether or the USD, you know, pair for Dogecoin, this is the accumulation zone. So if it comes down in here, I'd want to accumulate more of it. That's around, 6 cents, 5 to 6 cents. Also, let me reset this view. There you go. Also, if it comes, I think 5-6 cents is pretty much the low for Dogecoin. If it drops below that, then I guess I'll just keep on going into it. I don't know. Do I think it's going to go down to 1 cent again? I just don't think that's going to happen. Anything's possible, but the fact that it has Elon Musk behind it is just, it's a narrative and people run with it, and Twitter payments will eventually come out, whether it's in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next year, in the next 2 years, who knows? But Twitter is going to merge with Elon's other ventures and be called X payment system or something like that. And Dogecoin is probably going to be like hyped up whenever that happens. Maybe Dogecoin won't even be part of the payment system. Doesn't matter, because Dogecoin is still going to get pumped because it's going to be talked about and it's going to be the narrative. So that's why I buy Dogecoin all the time, and I put a little bit in every single day. And if it comes down here, I'll buy more. And then, I'll sell it here, I'll sell it here, I'll sell it here. I have a lot of different sell zones for Dogecoin. This is, I'll just get rid of this. All I know is like, this is my accumulation zone, and I just wait until it pops up, and that's what I do. And for my Bitcoin, this is my accumulation zone, and if it comes down here, I'll buy even more, and then I'll probably get out right around here. So if this is my average, I'll average a 40 to 45% gain. Not too shabby. Okay, and now for the last thing that I want to go over are actually coins like the AI coins, the ZK rollup coins, and a couple other things that I'm getting into that I think have a lot of potential, or that I've been in and that I'm going to continue to average into, that I think have a lot of potential, and where I think I might want to get into them. So I have this list right here. These are the artificial intelligence coins. And so I am going to go through all of those, and then I'll just let you guys know what I think about those. Also, I do like how LRC, how Loopring is, like where Loopring is, because Loopring is just above the midline. So I think that it has at least 50% to go against Bitcoin, which I really like. And so I'm trying to look for things that have narratives around them and also are at good places against Bitcoin, because otherwise, why don't I just go into Bitcoin? So for example, IMX, this is IMX against Bitcoin, and this is obviously a huge resistance area right here. Maybe I could actually bring this down a little bit, but yeah, this whole area is big resistance, right? So even though it has the narrative of being a ZK rollup coin, and it's obviously pumping super, super, super hard, do I necessarily want to get into it when I could just get into Bitcoin instead? I could just go into Bitcoin instead and have a better chance of outperforming this. Once IMX maybe comes down here against Bitcoin, then I'd want to switch from my Bitcoin into IMX. That's the difference. Of course, sometimes you do this and it doesn't work out because the thing just consolidates like this and then shoots up against Bitcoin, so you don't really win. But if I could get into these coins against Bitcoin at really good prices, then that's what I would love to do. So like Mana, for example, Mana, it's the Decentraland. It's part of the narrative of the metaverse, which I think is going to do very well, in 2023. If this comes down to this level, the 61.8 / previous reads, even if it comes down to the 50% against BTC, then this is all a buy. This is like all buyer. I like to stack my buys in here. And that way I will outperform just holding Bitcoin. So I'm going to look through these. But the other thing that I would love to do, that I would really love to do, would be to get in at the 61.8. So if we look at FET, for example, if you take the Fibonacci from the bottom of this move to the top of this move like this, and you go down to the 61.8, look at where it bounced from. So it bounced from here on the daily time frame. So it bounced here, goes up to 38.2. If it comes back down here, maybe I'll want to try to do like a scalp. But if I take the fib from this bottom all the way to this top, and I could and it actually ends up coming down to this 61.8, which is also this big area of consolidation or accumulation, then I would really, really, really want to get in, because it has not just this accumulation right here, but it also is the 61.8 golden ratio. And I think if we look left, yeah, this was a pretty big support area as well. So yeah, this area would be such a great area to get in to FET. And when it comes to where it is now, I'm actually selling. Well, I sold it last week because it hit it back here. But like this area is obviously like big resistance, right? Support, and then turned into resistance, back up. Now it's potentially resistance again. So even though there is a big hype train going on, I don't want to jump into things and just say, okay, the AI train is happening, I'm jumping into it now, or I'm going to not take profits now. Like for this, look at this. This is AGIX, Singularity Net Token. This was a huge AI token, right? You take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, 61.8, boom, get in, 38.2. So this was a great trade. And this was a 30% trade, right? So now I'm like, okay, I wouldn't want to buy right here, even though it definitely has the potential to come all the way up, make a double top, or just keep on going up and mooning up. But for my system, I like looking at the range, and and not just the range, I look at the fib, I look at everything. And if it's like not in a good area, basically if it's closer to resistance compared to the support, then I don't want to buy it. If it's closer to support, then I'll buy it. So for this one now, I don't want to buy this because it's, closer to this resistance compared to this support. And if it comes back down here, then I will buy it. So what I'm going to do is I'll put alerts in here, and then when the alerts go off, I could check and I could maybe put a trade on for 15%, something like that. Or I could just buy it and I don't want to buy it and hold it. But if it comes down here, then I would buy it and hold it, right? There's like different strategies, a bunch of different strategies you could do. But that was Singularity. There's Ocean Protocol, Numere, NMR, which is like super popular. Let's look at this. This looks like it hit the 78.6. No, this actually hit the 88. So if it doesn't always hit the 61.8 and then pop up, right? This one came all the way down here to the 88% and then before it ended up popping up. So you don't win every single time by just getting into the 61.8, but it does work quite often. This one from this bottom to this top for RLC tagged it and then popped up. And this one popped up all the way up to the 23.6. So maybe Singularity.net is going to go up to the 23.6 because right now it's at the 38.2. So maybe it'll continue to go up to here and follow in RLC's footsteps. You don't really know. You never really know. But I know one thing is that I took my profits for GTR today. I think I bought like right around here. So I took my profits for GTR today, and I took my profits for a couple of these a couple of these coins today, but I'm going to be continuing to dollar cost average into them. And for some of them, let's see where this one hit. This one hit the 78.6 or pretty much the 61.8, bounced up, the 38.2. Like this one, CAT, I think CAT has a pretty good potential of moving up because it's not as well known as the other ones. But for these ones, it's more like just basically like sentiment and narrative, and like it's not, you can't tell, like you can't just say, oh, I'm going to buy it here and do this. Like with a lot of these coins just run on the fact that they're the plays, you know? And so I do like Plu though. So some of them have nice looking setups at least, or nice looking structures. Like look at PLU, Pluton. This looks good to me. Like it's a very clear support area, and we're in this bullish market like overall. So I like it. It has a lot of room to run. This one's much closer to the resistance. I mean, much closer to the support than it is to the resistance. So Plu could be one that I would go in a little bit heavier in. But really, I think just like how I said in my last video, now is the time. Like I want to put capital into like lower cap coins now, because whenever things do end up popping off a lot more, then I want to make sure that I at least have some exposure to them just in case they don't come back down. And because it's pretty confusing what's happening right now with everything, but as long as you use technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and you are using some type of risk tolerance, risk management system in place, then you should be fine. Especially if it's money that you don't really care if it goes down. Like if it goes down, then you're fine. Like for instance, let's say you bought here, right? You bought GTR here because this was like close to this bottom, right? So you bought it here, or maybe let's say you bought it here and it fell all the way down. Well, if you hold it for long enough, it looks like it's coming back up, right? It looks like it's coming back up and you'll be able to get out at break even. So technically you didn't lose any money. So if you don't need the money, that makes things so much easier. It makes things so much easier if you're investing. If you're trading, then of course have your stops and do the risk management that you do. But if you're like investing, think about like where the price is and what the coins are and whether you really believe in them. Do some research into them. Think if they're fundamentally strong or not. And if you're just riding the hype train, whether you want to get out sooner or later, or honestly, it's all about just having a strategy. You just need a strategy and then just stick with your strategy. And I suggest writing it down and looking at it like all the time, because if you're active, because I tend to forget my strategy a lot, like unless I look at it almost every single day. So I look at it every day and just like make sure. And that's also what these videos help me do. They help me reiterate like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. So yeah, that's something that I recommend. And I think with that, I'm gonna call this one off. I'm gonna end this. Hopefully the market keeps on pumping. I do think that Bitcoin will eventually get to the 28,000 mark level, because it's definitely on its way there. I'm very, very worried about this right here, this 200 EMA and 200 moving average on the weekly time frame that it's touching, that's coming into right now. However, if you look at the daily time frame, this candle right here is super, super bullish. So I actually don't think that we're going to get a really big retracement. Because this is so bullish. Let's look at the 12 hour just to double check. Yeah, there's not even a wick. Like the wick is so small on the 12 hour. This is probably going to, I don't want to say it's going to keep on going up, because like, when does that happen? But this right here looks like this. So big move up, a little move up right here, maybe some consolidation, drop down. So if that happens, it would do something like this and then continue its move up. That would be the fractal of this. So we'll see what happens. Overall, I'm still pretty bullish, and I want to stay like majority like in Bitcoin and things like that, depending on what happens, but pretty much until at least 27, 28. Then I'll reassess, maybe 35. Like I said, you know, weeks ago when Bitcoin was like 20K, I think, it could go all the way up to 46,000, 47,000, but that's a long way away. So we will see about that. Anyway, I'm going to end this here. So I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye.